Thank you for all being here today. I want to specifically thank the members of Santa Clara PAC who have spent days putting this process together. The PAC endorsed 2 years ago candidates that all fortunately won, and we're very proud of that. The purpose of our PAC is to support candidates that we feel best represent the value of the many businesses in Santa Clara. These values including seeking individuals with different backgrounds and ethnicity. Last year we approached the Hispanic, the Black, the Vietnamese chambers looking for possible candidates. We did not get the interest we'd hoped, and we were not able to get candidates that were interested in an elected position. From this experience, we decided we wanted to add an educational portion to our endorsements. We felt by streaming these interviews, we'd be able to educate and interest future candidates for council positions. The difficult times the city is facing has become even more important, and we need individuals with business background that can help make the right short-term and long-term decisions. For the candidates that we will review and interview today, we intend not to make this process difficult. Rather, we're hoping to make you aware of the problems business is facing. And not all candidates decided to be interviewed through this process. To those that did not, we wish you well. If you do receive our endorsement, it is because we best felt that you can represent the many businesses in Santa Clara. If you do not receive our endorsement, we want you to know that we appreciate your efforts and we applaud the fact that you're involved. If you're elected, endorsed or not, we look forward to working with you. It's important to note that the long history of the city and the business community in Santa Clara has always worked well because of mutual respect and an ability to find common goals for the benefit of all the citizens of Santa Clara. We are relatively new to endorsing candidates, and we want the process to be transparent. We want to provide the voters with much information about the process and decisions we have made. I wish to congratulate all the candidates on their choice to be involved with the city of Santa Clara. You'll never regret it. So let's begin with our next candidate, Debi Davis, who's running for Council Seat 3. She'll have 10 minutes to introduce herself. We'll have questions and 5 minutes to end or answer further any questions that she has. Debi, welcome.
Thank you. Good morning. My name is Debi Davis. I am running for Santa Clara City Council, Seat 3. I have been involved in the city doing various, let's say, serving activities. First with Santa Clara Sister City Association, president of the Sister City International NorCal Board, involved with the Chamber of Commerce, involved with Mission College, and I enjoy serving. So this was the best thing that I thought would be next step up. Anything else? I'm trying to think. This is kind of scary. I'm on television, and you all know me, so you know I like to talk. So I'm lost for words right now, but that's okay. And there's a lot of light shining in my eyes right now, so I can't see you, but that's okay. I would like to say that this is a big job, and I would like to be endorsed by the PAC, and I would like to just work for the city.
Thank you. And we're going to start with you, Lou, this time. Do you have a question for Debi?
Yes, I do. Thanks for joining us today, Debi.
Good morning, Lou.
You covered a little bit already, but could you tell us a little bit what's motivating you to run for city council and what you're doing to prepare yourself for this position?
Preparing myself for this position, I've been doing a lot of reading. There's the general plan, there's the budget, there's been talking with the assistant city manager, talking with the interim city manager, speaking with our outgoing city manager. There's a lot to learn about the city. I don't know, I'm nervous. I admit it.
Don't be nervous. We're actually very nice people.
Brandon, you have a question?
Yes, I do. Thank you. It's nice to have you here today.
Thank you, Brandon.
So I assume you're active in the community. You talk to many business people, local residents. What do you think are the 3 issues that are vexing local business presidents and CEOs right now?
What's affecting the businesses?
What are the 3 people? What are the 3 things that local presidents and CEOs are worried about? Their concerns in their business.
I would hope that they're concerned about jobs and having revenues, building businesses in the city, being able to employ more people. I think that right now jobs are a big factor. People are looking for jobs, and I'm hoping that with building, well, the stadium is a good example. With that being built, that is producing more jobs. And I think in that area, that is a strong area of business for us right now. I don't know if the CEOs are out there aggressively looking for new people, but I think that if the jobs are out there, they're going to come.
Thank you. The next question will come from Dave Delosier, live from Tahoe. Dave, are you there? I guess he's not live in Tahoe. All right, I'll take the next question, and then we'll see if we can get in touch with him. Minimum wage is a big thing in San Jose right now. That's actually going to the ballot. What is your feeling about a minimum wage? Do you favor increasing it? What is your stand?
I think that minimum wage should be addressed at the state level. It should be an even playing field across the entire state.
Okay, thank you. And the next question goes to Miles Barber.
Hi, Debbie. Thanks
Hi.
for coming this morning. In your questionnaire, when you were asked to answer some questions, I was a bit confused with question number 4, where we asked about what is your solution for paying the increasing cost of employee benefits. And according to your answer, you indicated that the employees pay for most of the cost of their medical insurance benefits, their retirement benefits, and other benefits such as vacation, leave time, etc. Now, as I recall the last report that I saw from the city, about 42% of each individual's salary in the city goes for benefits, pensions, and retirement. Are you indicating that the 42% of those benefits are chargeable to the employee?
No, the benefits are put together in a complete comprehensive package that's part of their contract. So, for instance, our benefits that we receive from the city, I pick my hospital, I pick my doctor, I pick my dentist, I pay for that out of my benefits. And I think that if it's a package that's been negotiated through the bargaining people, that's the job of the responsibility of the employee to seek out the services. I don't think that the 42%, it's all inclusive, so maybe I'm confused on your question.
Well, let's say that we have an employee in the city who's making $100,000, and the city then matches that, and the employee has a percentage of contribution of that additional 42% on top of that $100,000 goes for benefits, for retirement, and medical. So my understanding then is that only about 16% of that 42% is actually paid by the employee out of his check.
I guess I don't know the answer to that question.
Okay, not a problem. I'll defer to Myron von Raciel.
Morning, Debbie. Thanks for joining
Morning.
us today. Sorry about the lights, but you'll get used to it.
Yeah.
In these days of all the budget troubles and things that many cities, including Santa Clara, have struggled with, there's been a lot of different proposals passed around. And back in the 70s, an initiative was passed called Prop 13, which limited the property taxes and the amount of increases that can happen to property owners, including businesses. Of late, there's been some talk from various different factions about coming up with what we call a split roll, where they want to go into corporations and businesses and have them taxed at a different way, in some ways basically circumventing Prop 13, which would have a very large impact on both small businesses and large businesses in Santa Clara and everywhere else. Where do you stand on measures like this and ways in which people are looking to generate revenue? How do you see that?
I don't believe in the split roll because it's not fair to take that tax and levy it on the businesses in the area. I know that prop came in, but it's not fair. It should be even playing field with everyone. Why should they tax businesses more? They're businesses. It's just like a person or individual paying rent mortgages, whatever. I don't feel that they should do that. I don't agree with the split roll at all.
Just going to follow up on that. What are some other ideas that you might have for the city to generate more revenue? Or do you see revenue as a problem, or is it spending more as a problem with the city? What do you see as the...
Well, it's twofold. We need to cut back on spending. That's very obvious. But also to find new avenues for revenue is a great indicator to bring business into the city. And I feel that that north of Bayshore area, with the stadium coming in, that's an effective avenue for us to bring some more revenues to the city, so that we don't have to rely on, let's say, cutting a lot of spending. But yeah, it has to go hand in hand. Both have to work. We have to cut the spending, and we have to increase revenues.
Excellent. Very good. Thank you.
Miles?
Debbie, this question wasn't on the questionnaire, but I think you have a good answer for it. As chamber representatives, we're concerned about business, new business primarily coming to the city. We want to retain our existing business. And one of the issues that we constantly deal with is the permit process for new businesses trying to start up in Santa Clara. And there have been some real roadblocks along the way. Can you indicate what your position would be and what you would do to resolve some of these issues?
Well, as a council member, I would welcome the opportunity to make this permitting system easier for businesses to come in. I don't know exactly what the roadblocks are. I do know that I have heard that some businesses do have a problem getting through. They feel sometimes they have to jump through a hoop. That's not fair either. I don't know where that all lies, but I would like the opportunity to make that process easier to bring businesses into the city. I'm all for bringing business into the city. I really feel that's going to generate a lot more for us.
One of the questions we asked you, Debbie, was about a possible ballot measure for the pensions. If we had to go to the public, and I read that you said there's a court case and it may be tied up, but let's assume they can get past the court case, and let's assume it's illegal. Would you support, if we can't get the numbers to where they need to be, putting a measure on the ballot to let the citizens decide about the pension?
No, the bargaining units it's between the city and the employees. And when San Jose put Measure B on the ballot, it wound up in litigation. I don't know how long that's going to take, but I don't know if there's legitimate reasons for putting a Measure ballot on to break a contract that has already been negotiated. I think that needs some more exploring.
Okay, thank you. Dave, are you with us?
I'm here. Can you hear me?
We can hear you loud and clear. Do you have a question for Debbie?
I have a couple of questions.
Okay, we'll get two of them because we missed you the last time.
Debbie, thank you for being there, and thank you for being involved. I want to ask you on your questionnaire, and I don't, again, I'm working from a remote location, so part of it is on email and part of it is I have written out, but your support or non-support for big box stores. As I remember on your questionnaire, you said no. Can you elaborate on that?
No, I don't believe in the box store. First of all, we did allow for Target to come in, and that was at the request of, I've been walking precincts, and people really want to have that Target store. It's also economically feasible to have it in that space. But bigger box stores, there's no place for them to fit into the city. There's no location for it right now.
Okay. And then the second question I have for you is on pension reform. I know your husband is currently in law enforcement, and he belongs to one of the bargaining units. And have you had any discussion with the Fair Political Practice people or the city attorney on your role in entering into the discussions, especially on with POA regarding pension reform?
I can tell you, if I am elected as a council person, that I am a direct beneficiary of my husband's pension paycheck. As far as I know, I would have to walk off the dais if there is a discussion with that bargaining unit.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Dave. Brendan Harrington, what do you have for a question?
Thank you again. So, if I'm a young person, young couple, moving to Santa Clara, I don't know if I do move to Santa Clara. There's just not a spot to go that talks to me. And we have this development around the stadium, which we've talked about a lot. It seems like it's our one opportunity to really affect a change in Santa Clara to make it a destination. But there's very differing visions on what that might look like. So if you would just kind of paint me a picture. Is there a place you've been that you think we should replicate around that stadium, or can you paint the picture of what you think that might look like that could be a vibrant place for, not necessarily young people, but there's also empty nesters that like to get out and walk around?
Okay, well, I can tell you from my experience, and I'm a baby boomer. I've moved here 10 years ago with my husband, and we found Santa Clara through the internet. And the thing that attracted us to the city was the services, was how clean it was, what they did for their community, young and old. I see that area, the North of Bayshore area, with the stadium being built, that we have potential out there to put more restaurants, to put more shopping, to put more venues. Like right inside the convention center, there's a theater. Why couldn't we, you know, say someone's coming here, go to a football game, go stay at one of our luxury hotels, bring the kids to Great America for the day. Maybe there's a concert that could be inside the Symphony Hall, or plays. Santa Clara has a lot to offer. I just think that it has to kind of get itself a little bit stronger in that area. But I think that if you build a stadium, it's just, people are just gonna come to it. I think it's a great thing. Santana Row comes to mind. When that was first built, everybody gravitated there. There's a lot of restaurants. There's a lot of community feel. And I think if we replicate that over in that area and build that up, I think you're gonna attract the younger people, so to speak, not the baby boomers like me. But that's okay. I mean, I think it's good for the economy, and it also builds up our revenue streams, which we desperately need.
Lou, do you have a question?
Following lines of Brendan's question, can you do the same type of thing with the area around the Santa Clara Caltown station?
Oh, I believe so. If we, the areas in our transit corridors that need development, I believe El Camino Real, if we have, people like to go by bus or they like to go by car, we have this great mass transit thing working. We can build up the residential there. We can build up, probably restaurant places, destinations, things for them to go. Especially the railroad station. I believe that a lot of people maybe might not like living in San Francisco and come down here. We have 200,000 people that come into the city a day to work here. So I think it's important that we have things for them to do, and just let's build up those corridors for them.
Myron, you had a follow-up?
Hi, Debbie. This goes back to a question that was just asked a little while ago about the big box stores, and you kind of had a comment that I think David asked on. And you had indicated that there was no space or location for them. Is that the reason you're opposed to it, or can you expand on that just a little bit more?
No, I just don't fit. I don't see it fitting in our city. I just don't see it fitting in the city. I think we have a small town community feel. I think we need to stay with that. I think that if there were this space, is that going to take away? Is that going to hurt small businesses? I just don't believe in big boxes.
That's my question. Thank you.
Miles, you have another question?
On your questionnaire, you did indicate that employees had currently taken a 5% cut in pay in the way of voluntarily or in the way of furloughs, and in some cases voluntary reductions. One of the concerns of the chamber was that in 2007, 8, and 9, the city was passing out 5% increases while the economy was falling off the cliff, and our city burned through $22 million in reserves. What would be your solution for handling future issues such as another drop in the economy or a disaster like an earthquake or a major incident that would affect our community.
Okay, if I'm getting this right, our employees, through their bargaining contracts, made the concessions. They were the ones that came and said, we will take the 5% cut. We will take the furloughs days. And they stepped up to the plate. I think the employees in the city of Santa Clara are awesome. They came to us with the concessions at first. I hope we're not going to have an earthquake, but I would like to have the revenues rebuilt so that this might not ever happen again. But my solution to this, and I think just happened with the state legislator, we just had in effective January 1, 2003, they've raised the age of retirement. They lowered the percentage rate. And I think over time, it's kind of like a credit card. We're going to be paying down the balance. But in the same time, if we build up the revenues, we can rebuild our system, especially in that north of Bayshore area. I see that as a salvation for the city of Santa Clara.
We're down to the end of the questions, and you have 5 minutes to present anything that we left out.
Did you leave anything out?
Well, that's your decision.
I don't know if you left anything out. I welcome the opportunity. I thank you. I know I was a little nervous, and this is, you know that I can speak to you all, and probably when the lights aren't shining in my face. But to the business community, I enjoyed working with you. I enjoyed working with the chamber. I understand that these are hard times, but I believe if we stand together, tighten the belts a little bit, and work effectively, we can find new revenue streams for the city of Santa Clara and make it through hard times. Thank you.
Thank you, Debbie. Good job.
Okay. Can I have my eyesight back now?
Thank you.
Thank you, Brian.
I love your red lamp blue outfit, by the way.
Thank you.
Very patriotic.
Thanks, Debbie.
Thanks, Miles. Thanks, Myron.
Seeing you again.
Now cut out all the red paint.
And that ends this candidate's discussion.